The Galactic Empire loomed over the galaxy, a vast and powerful force. Its fleets patrolled the stars, enforcing strict laws and collecting tribute from every planet. Fear gripped the hearts of those who lived under its rule. On Earth, a diverse planet filled with unique cultures and vibrant life, the news spread like wildfire. The Empire had issued a demand for tribute, and it was cruel. In the capital city of New Haven, a meeting was underway. The room was filled with important figures: a diplomat named Ava, a scientist named Dr. Malik, and a soldier named Commander Jace. They gathered around a large table, each face marked with concern. The walls were lined with screens showing images of the Empire's warships, dark and imposing against the bright stars. Ava spoke first, her voice steady but laced with worry. "The Empire wants apex predators from Earth as tribute," she said, shaking her head. "They demand our fiercest creatures, lions, tigers, and even the great white sharks. They believe this will show their power and our weakness." Dr. Malik adjusted his glasses, his brow furrowing. "This is madness. They want us to offer our most dangerous animals? This is not just a demand, it's a threat. They think we will bow to them." He looked at his companions, his voice rising. "We cannot allow this to happen. We must find a way to fight back." Commander Jace, a tall man with a stern expression, crossed his arms. "The Empire thinks they can intimidate us. They have no idea what humans are capable of. We've survived wars and disasters. We won't let them take our predators without a fight." Ava nodded, feeling a surge of determination. "We need a plan. If we give them what they want, we'll be showing them our fear. We have to show them that Earth will not be a victim." As they spoke, the mood in the room shifted. The initial shock turned into resolve. Each person was determined to protect their planet. Ava began to formulate an idea in her mind. What if we don't give in to their demands? What if we take the fight to them? Dr. Malik's eyes lit up with excitement. "What are you suggesting, Ava?" "We can't attack the Empire directly. They have a powerful fleet." Ava smiled, her mind racing. "No, not attack. What if we find a way to tame our apex predators? We could use our knowledge of genetics to create a bond with them. Imagine having these powerful creatures fighting alongside us." "The Empire would never see it coming." Jace leaned forward, intrigued. "That's a bold plan. But can we actually tame them? These animals are wild and dangerous." Dr. Malik nodded. "It will be challenging, but it's not impossible. We have scientists who can help. If we can show these animals that we mean them no harm, they might just become our allies." Ava's heart raced at the thought. "If we succeed, we can send a clear message to the Empire. They will learn that humans are not weak. We are strong, resourceful, and willing to fight for our freedom." The three of them began to discuss the details of their plan. They knew it would take time and effort, but they were ready for the challenge. As they made preparations, the reality of their situation loomed over them. The Empire would not wait long. The deadline for the tribute was approaching, and the pressure was mounting. In the days that followed, the team worked tirelessly. They gathered information about the apex predators of Earth, studying their habits and habitats. They spoke with animal experts and trainers, seeking knowledge and guidance. Meanwhile, the Empire's ships continued to hover in space, casting a shadow over Earth. The people of the planet felt the tension rise. Whispers of fear spread through the streets as news of the Empire's demands reached every corner. Yet within the hearts of Ava, Dr. Malik, and Commander Jace, a spark of hope began to grow. They would not give in. Instead, they would fight back in a way that no one expected. As the sun set over New Haven, the three heroes prepared to face the unknown. They were ready to take a stand for Earth and show the Galactic Empire that humanity would not be easily broken. The battle for their planet was just beginning. After the shocking demand from the Galactic Empire, a sense of urgency filled the air in New Haven. Ava, Dr. Malik, and Commander Jace met in a small room filled with maps and data about Earth's apex predators. The walls were covered with images of lions, tigers, and bears, their fierce eyes staring back at the trio. This was the beginning of their daring plan. Ava stood at the center of the room, her mind racing with ideas. "We need to act fast," she said, her voice steady. "The Empire expects us to submit. We can't let them think we're weak. We have to show them that Earth is strong and can defend itself." Dr. Malik leaned over the table, pointing at a map of the nearby forest. "We should start by finding the apex predators in their natural habitat. Lions and tigers are usually in the wild, but we need to be cautious. These animals are not easy to approach." Jace nodded, his expression serious. We will need a team of experts to help us. Veterinarians, animal trainers, and geneticists. They can guide us on how to approach and work with these animals. If we can gain their trust, we might be able to tame them. Ava crossed her arms, deep in thought. I think it's also important to create a safe environment for them. We can't just approach them in the wild without preparing a space where they feel secure. Dr. Malik's eyes lit up with inspiration. What if we set up a sanctuary? A place where we can work with the predators and bond with them? It should be large enough for them to feel at home, but secure enough for us to interact safely. Good idea, Jace exclaimed. We can use the old wildlife reserve on the outskirts of the city. It has plenty of space and is isolated enough to avoid drawing attention from the Empire. Ava quickly jotted down notes, feeling a sense of excitement. Let's gather our team and head to the reserve. We need to make this happen quickly. The Empire will come for their tribute soon, and we must be ready. The three of them spent the next few days recruiting specialists. They found veterinarians who understood the animal's behavior, trainers who had experience with large creatures, and geneticists who could help them understand the best way to bond with the apex predators. When the day finally arrived, Ava, Jace, and Dr. Malik led their newly formed team to the wildlife reserve. The sun shone brightly, casting golden rays over the lush green trees and tall grasses. The sound of birds chirping filled the air, but the team felt a mix of excitement and anxiety as they approached their mission. As they entered the reserve, Ava took a deep breath. Remember, we're not here to capture these animals. We're here to connect with them. We need to show them we mean no harm. Dr. Malik nodded, holding a box of tools and supplies. We'll start with the smaller animals first. Gaining their trust will help us understand how to approach the larger predators. Jace stepped forward, his eyes scanning the area. Let's split up into pairs. We can cover more ground that way. We'll meet back here in 2 hours to share what we find. The team dispersed into the reserve, their hearts pounding with anticipation. Ava and Dr. Malik headed toward an area known for its lion population. As they walked, Ava's mind raced with thoughts of the Empire and the challenge ahead. Would they really be able to tame these magnificent creatures? Meanwhile, Jace partnered with a trainer named Mia, who had worked with various animals in the past. Stay alert, Jace. Lions are unpredictable, but if we approach them calmly, we have a better chance, Mia advised, leading the way deeper into the reserve. After some time, Ava and Dr. Malik found a small pride of lions resting under the shade of a large tree. Their golden coats glimmered in the sunlight, and their powerful bodies relaxed, showing both grace and strength. Dr. Malik whispered, "We need to be careful. Let's observe them for now." As they watched, Ava felt a connection. These animals were not just fierce predators, they were creatures of beauty and power. If they could form a bond with them, it could change everything. The team spent hours studying the animals, taking notes and discussing strategies. They realized that patience would be key. The goal was not just to tame the apex predators, but to create a partnership built on trust and respect. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the reserve, Ava felt a sense of hope. They were on the brink of something incredible. They were about to show the Galactic Empire that humanity was not to be underestimated. With determination in their hearts, the team returned to their base, ready to prepare for the next steps in their daring plan. They knew that the future of Earth depended on their success. The days turned into weeks as Ava, Dr. Malik, and Commander Jace worked tirelessly at the Wildlife Reserve. Their plan to tame the apex predators was ambitious, but the team remained focused. Each morning, they gathered to discuss strategies, study animal behavior, and prepare for their encounters with the fierce creatures. Ava stood at the edge of the lion enclosure, watching as the majestic animals roamed. The lions were powerful and proud, their golden manes catching the sunlight. She felt a mix of awe and determination. "We can do this," she whispered to herself. "We just need to build trust." Dr. Malik joined her, carrying a bag filled with food and tools. "I believe we've made some progress," he said, observing the lions. "They're starting to get used to our presence, but we need to be cautious. They are still wild animals." "Agreed," Ava replied, her eyes focused on the largest lion, a male with a thick mane. "I think we should start by feeding them from a distance. It's a good way to create a positive association." They set up feeding stations at a safe distance from the lions, using meat and other treats to attract their attention. Each day they would arrive quietly, placing the food down and retreating slowly. Over time, the lions began to approach the feeding stations, sniffing the air and cautiously accepting the offerings. Jace watched from a distance, taking notes on their behavior. "Look!" he said, pointing at the largest lion. "He's getting closer!" "This is a good sign." Ava and Dr. Malik exchanged excited glances. "If we can get them used to our scent and presence, we might be able to get even closer," Ava said, her heart racing with hope. As the days passed, the team experimented with different approaches. They began to use sound, softly calling to the lions in calm voices. Dr. Malik suggested they play recordings of soothing sounds like nature and gentle music. They wanted to create a peaceful environment that would help the lions feel more comfortable. One morning, while they were observing the lions, Ava noticed something remarkable. The largest lion, whom they had named Rex, was starting to respond to their voices. He looked up from his meal, his ears twitching as he listened. "This is it," Ava said, a spark of excitement igniting within her. "If we can get him to trust us, we can lead the others." They decided to try something different. Ava and Dr. Malik approached the feeding station while speaking softly to Rex. As they neared, they dropped pieces of meat closer to their feet, hoping he would come closer. The moment was tense. Rex was a creature of great power, and they could feel the weight of his gaze. Suddenly, Jace called out, "Look! He's coming!" Rex approached cautiously, sniffing the ground. The team held their breath, waiting. Ava reached into the bag and pulled out a small piece of meat, holding it out in front of her. "Come on, Rex! You can trust us," she said softly. The lion paused, his intense eyes locked onto Ava. In that moment, time seemed to stand still. Slowly, Rex stepped forward, inching closer. Finally, he took the meat from her hand, his warm breath brushing against her palm. Ava's heart raced with joy. "We did it!" she exclaimed, turning to Dr. Malik and Jace, who wore wide grins on their faces. As the days went on, Rex continued to trust them. The team spent hours bonding with him, bringing toys and playing gentle games. They learned to read his body language, recognizing when he was comfortable and when he needed space. With Rex leading the way, the other lions began to follow his lead. The team started to work with the entire pride, using the same techniques of trust and patience. They formed a strong bond, creating a family-like atmosphere within the reserve. However, the challenge was not over. The Galactic Empire was still looming, and the deadline for tribute approached. The team knew they had to speed up their efforts. One evening, as the sun set behind the hills, Ava gathered the team to discuss their next steps. "We have made incredible progress, but we need to prepare for the Empire's arrival," she said, her voice steady. "If we can tame these lions, we can use them as part of our defense strategy." Dr. Malik nodded in agreement. "If we can show the Empire that we have tamed our apex predators, they will see us as a force to be reckoned with. They won't expect us to fight back." Jace added, "We need to work on developing a plan to showcase our strength. We can set up demonstrations to show off our bond with the lions. This will send a message to the Empire that we are ready to protect our planet." The team spent the next few days preparing for their demonstration. They practiced their routines with Rex and the other lions, ensuring that everything was perfect. As the sun dipped below the horizon, they felt a sense of determination. They had come so far, and the time was nearing to show the Galactic Empire that Earth would not back down. The bond they had formed with the lions was more than just trust. It was a testament to their strength and courage. With hearts full of hope, the team stood ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Together, they would prove that humanity was a force to be reckoned with, and that their bond with the wild was unbreakable. The day had finally arrived. Ava, Dr. Malik, and Commander Jace stood at the edge of the wildlife reserve, their hearts pounding with a mix of excitement and anxiety. The Galactic Empire's fleet was expected to arrive at any moment, and the team was ready to showcase their bond with the apex predators. Ava looked out across the vast expanse of the reserve, where the lions roamed freely. "We've trained hard for this," she said, her voice steady. "Let's make sure everything goes according to plan." Dr. Malik adjusted his glasses, scanning the horizon. "We need to show them that we can tame the wild. If the Empire sees our connection with the lions, they will know not to underestimate us." Jace nodded, checking his equipment. "I've set up cameras all around the reserve to capture everything. This is going to be a show that they won't forget." As the sun rose higher in the sky, the team gathered the lions in a large open area. Rex, the leader of the pride, stood tall and proud, his golden mane shimmering in the sunlight. Ava felt a surge of confidence seeing him at the center. If we can get Rex to perform, the others will follow his lead, she reminded the team. Suddenly, a low rumble echoed in the distance. Ava's heart sank as she looked up. The dark silhouettes of the Empire's ships appeared in the sky, casting long shadows over the reserve. They were here. The massive ships descended slowly, their engines humming ominously. As the Empire's ships landed, the team felt a mix of fear and determination. Ava took a deep breath. "Stay calm, everyone. We've prepared for this moment." The doors of the ships opened with a loud hiss, and Imperial soldiers in their dark uniforms stepped out. They surveyed the area with cold eyes, clearly unimpressed. The leader, a tall figure with a menacing look, approached the team. "You must be the humans who dared to challenge the Empire," he said, his voice dripping with disdain. "Where are your tributes?" Ava stepped forward, her heart racing. "We have not come to submit to your demands. Instead, we have tamed our apex predators. We are ready to show you what Earth can do." The leader raised an eyebrow, skeptical. "You think a few wild animals can defend your planet against the might of the Galactic Empire?" Dr. Malik could feel the tension in the air. "It's not just about the animals. It's about the bond we share with them. Watch and see." Jace nodded, signaling to the team to prepare for their demonstration. As they began their routine, Ava felt a surge of adrenaline. She called to Rex and he stepped forward, his powerful body moving gracefully. The other lions followed suit, their eyes locked onto Ava with trust and respect. With each command, Rex performed impressive feats, leaping and rolling with elegance. The other lions mimicked his movements, showcasing their strength and agility. The Empire's soldiers watched, their expressions shifting from skepticism to surprise. "This is just the beginning," Ava shouted, feeling a rush of excitement. "These lions will fight to protect their home and their humans." As the demonstration continued, the bond between the team and the lions became more apparent. The lions moved in sync, responding to Ava's voice and hand signals. They showed not just power, but also a deep trust that had taken weeks to build. The Imperial leader's expression hardened, but he couldn't hide the flicker of concern in his eyes. "Impressive," he admitted reluctantly. "But can they truly fight?" "Let us show you," Jace replied confidently. With that, the team demonstrated a mock battle scenario. They used a combination of sound cues and hand signals to command the lions, creating a show of strength and coordination. The lions growled and roared, charging with purpose and confidence. The soldiers shifted uneasily, whispering among themselves. They had expected a simple tribute, but what they witnessed was a display of unity and power. As the demonstration reached its peak, Ava felt a swell of pride. The lions were not just animals. They were warriors alongside their human allies. "This is what we offer instead of tribute," Ava declared. "We are not a weak species. We will defend our home with everything we have." A silence fell over the gathering as the Empire's soldiers exchanged uncertain glances. The Imperial leader stepped back, clearly taken aback. "You think this will deter us?" he sneered, though his voice lacked conviction. "You may have tamed these beasts, but do not forget who controls the stars." Ava stood tall, refusing to back down. "We may be small in the eyes of the galaxy, but we are fierce. You will not take from us. We will protect Earth." The Empire's ships remained ominous overhead, but something had shifted. The soldiers, once so confident, now looked uncertain. The display of loyalty and strength from both the lions and the humans had left a mark. As the demonstration concluded, Ava knew they had made an impact. They had shown the Empire that humanity was not to be underestimated. With their bond to the wild and the fierce determination in their hearts, they stood ready to defend their planet. The day was far from over, and the confrontation with the Galactic Empire was just beginning. But for the first time, Ava felt a flicker of hope. They had tamed the wild, and now it was time to see how far that bond would take them. The tension in the air was thick as Ava, Dr. Malik, and Jace awaited the Empire's response. The demonstration had left the Imperial soldiers stunned, but the outcome of this standoff remained uncertain. Would the Empire accept their strength, or would they retaliate? As the minutes ticked by, Ava felt a mix of hope and fear. The lions stood by her side, their powerful forms a reminder of the bond they had forged. She glanced at Rex, who seemed to sense her anxiety. He nudged her gently as if to say, "We're in this together." The Imperial leader finally broke the silence. "You have made your point, humans, but know this. Your show of strength does not change the fact that the Empire demands tribute. You cannot defy us without consequences. Dr. Malik stepped forward, determination etched on his face. We will not give in to threats. We are ready to protect our planet. If you wish to conquer Earth, you will face the consequences of underestimating us. The leader scoffed, clearly dismissing their resolve. You are bold, I'll give you that. But boldness does not equal victory. He waved a hand, and the soldiers behind him readied their weapons, clearly prepared for a fight. Ava's heart raced. We won't back down. We stand united with our lions. You may have the technology and power of the Empire, but we have something stronger, courage and loyalty. Just then, Rex let out a deep, resonating roar that echoed through the reserve. The other lions joined in, creating a chorus of powerful sounds. The Empire's soldiers shifted nervously, their eyes darting between Ava and the fierce animals. It was clear that the lions were not just pets, they were warriors. As the roars died down, the Imperial leader hesitated. The fear in his eyes was evident. For the first time, he seemed unsure. You think your animals will intimidate us? He challenged, but his voice was less confident. Suddenly, Jace seized the moment. Let's show them how serious we are, he said, signaling to Ava and Dr. Malik. They had prepared for this possibility. They knew it was time to escalate their display. With careful coordination, the team called the lions forward. They arranged them into a formation that demonstrated not only strength but also unity. The lions stood tall, their muscles rippling as they displayed their readiness to fight. Imagine if we unleash them against your ships, Ava shouted. Do you really think your technology can outmatch the primal power of the wild? The leader's expression shifted. It was a mix of fear and realization. Enough, he finally barked. You have made your point. Perhaps there is more to humanity than we thought. Just then, a small ship descended from the larger fleet above, its engines humming softly. The pilot emerged, an older woman with a commanding presence. She approached the group and spoke, her voice steady and authoritative. I am Admiral Saren. I have been sent to assess the situation. Your demonstration is indeed impressive. Ava felt a surge of hope. Admiral, we are ready to defend Earth. We will not give in to the Empire's demands for tribute. We offer cooperation, not submission. Admiral Saren studied the lions and the humans before her. It is clear that you possess strength and unity. However, the Empire does not change easily. What you have shown today is noteworthy, but your future is uncertain. We are willing to negotiate, Dr. Malik interjected. Let's talk about coexistence. We can share knowledge and resources. The Empire could learn much from us. The Admiral considered their words, and for a moment, there was silence. Ava's heart raced as she awaited her response. Very well, she said finally. I will take your proposal back to the Empire. But understand this, your bond with these creatures will only get you so far. You must prove yourselves further. Ava nodded, her heart swelling with determination. We will do whatever it takes. Earth will stand strong. With that, Admiral Saren turned to leave, but not before adding, consider this a chance to change how the Empire sees you. Don't waste it. As the Admiral returned to her ship, the tension began to lift. The Imperial soldiers looked less threatening, and even Rex seemed to relax. Ava turned to her team, her heart racing with excitement. We did it! We showed them our strength! Dr. Malik smiled, relief washing over his face. Now we have the chance to build a better future. We can show the Empire that humans and apex predators can coexist. Jace grinned, pride shining in his eyes. And we'll do it together. This is just the beginning. In the days that followed, the team focused on strengthening their relationship with the Lions and preparing for the possible negotiations with the Empire. They knew they had to show not only their power, but also their wisdom. They would be the ambassadors of Earth. As the sun set over the wildlife reserve, Ava stood outside, watching the lions roam freely under the fading light. She felt a deep sense of gratitude for the journey they had taken together. They had tamed the wild, formed unbreakable bonds, and stood up to the Empire. The future was uncertain, but Ava felt hopeful. Together they would face whatever challenges lay ahead. Earth was not just a planet, it was home, and as long as they stood united, they would protect it fiercely. The triumph they had achieved was only the beginning of new adventures, and the roar of the lions echoed in her heart as a reminder of their strength.